So now it's a couple of weeks, 2 weeks now since our taro patch or taro plantation here was burned, like I showed you before. But now, as you can see, taros are starting to grow back. The ones that we have newly planted, like these ones here at the edge, they're okay because they're pretty new. But the ones that are close to harvesting, here on this side here, they started to come around again, but don't know what's going to happen to them, if they're going to be all right. Maybe we'll just have the hoolies come up and we'll use. But soon I'll pull some out just to see. And like this one here, this is a pretty big one that was nearly ready for harvesting. That got burned also. And so is that one there. Partly burnt, that one. But mostly all these other ones have grown back. And in the middle here, these are the ones that we planted especially for the show for our village show day in July. And it's end of January now. And it's too short of a time, so they ain't gonna make it. They've grown just a little bit bigger than this before they got burned. So fingers crossed that they will grow well for Alufi North Show Day. We've got something to harvest then. Otherwise, we'll just skip this year and then we'll try again next year. And that's just how it is with taro farming. You win some, you lose some. So just waiting now, keep this clean once the weeds started to come out. Me and Hannah, so Hannah's planting onions here. So Hannah has planted a few onions, scattered all over our plantation. So it's 3 weeks now since our plantation was burned, as I showed you previously. There's been a lot of rain lately. Here, New Zealand flight has diverted away from Niue to Samoa and back to Auckland twice this weekend because of heavy rains here on Niue. Visibility wasn't great, so they couldn't land at the airport. So this is the progress of the taros that were burned last time. So they're growing back okay. And hopefully those big ones, the main ones that we planted especially for the show day, hopefully they'll be okay for Alufi North Show Day. Definitely we've missed the Alufi South Show Day. There's just me and Hannah today. We'll just come up to grab some taros for dinner tonight and also some onions for dinner. So we decided to just plant some of the onions because we were kind of low on them. Yep. Me, Maka, and Heimana today, and this is 4 weeks since the fire that burned down our taros. So now we're just going to walk through again and see what the changes are like. There has been a lot of rain, so it has been good. Okay, take a look. So here are the taros. They're starting to grow back. Watch out, we planted a lot of onions, me and Hannah, last week. See, so with all the rain, they're growing back okay. They're looking pretty healthy. It's also good. Not much weeds yet coming up. They don't have to manage any weeds at this point in time. So our taros are looking okay. All those ones there before, they were growing really well. Maybe they're about the size of those ones there. But now they have to start all over again. So these ones here that we especially planted, they're coming around okay too. So just kind of looking forward for September, our target date of harvest. Originally it was intended for July, but because of the fire we have to start all over again. Otherwise they would have been at least that size now or bigger. Those were the ones that were saved, that won't burn from the fire. All these ones here, they're starting all over again. So looking at September, and hopefully it'll be all good. Just have to manage all the weeds now. Yeah, there it is. So they're growing back okay. Our onions here, spring onions, they're coming around fine also. Yes, so that's the progress so far with our taro farming and our taros here at our plantation. 4 weeks since it was burned by the fire and was now coming around good. Woo! And see this part here in the middle? That was burned down as well. These are the ones that I said that was not far away from harvest. And they're growing back okay also. It's good to see that there's a lot of food is coming up. This pretty much happens because there has been a lot of rain, so it helps out a lot with the growth. So at least it's not bad news, Right. Yep, so here are all those ones. You can see in the beginning of this video how they were all looking. Wilted, burned, lifeless. But now there's some life in them. So imagine if I beat up my son over this and now this has recovered well. It would have just been terrible. But I think in the past that's what will happen. Parents will get frustrated because it's their livelihood and they'll beat up the son or whoever made the mistake. Yes. Okay, so it's a month now, son, since the last time that we talked about this. We talked about this area that got burned down by your honest mistake, I think. So what do you think now?
I think I'm glad it didn't burn up, and what? The rain helps and they grow back again. I think they are really good and harvests. That's good. Very good. Well, I hope the towers will grow and big, and we're gonna harvest them in September.
What do you think, hey?
At first I was upset, and now it's like all right
Why were you upset?
because we had no because you said we had no towers for the show day.
Yeah. So, and now?
I'm all right. I feel
Okay. So you mad with Maka?
no, not really,
Why not?
because the towers look fine.
Okay. You feel sorry for your brother?
Kinda, yeah.
Why?
Because everybody was blaming him because he burnt the taros.
Okay. What do you got to say for that, Boom?
Well, it's kind of good. Him is white, and everything is good. Everything is just perfect.
Okay, so here we go. So we're now 5 weeks since this got burned. As you can see, they're coming around really nice. And still no weeds. Very good. There has been some weeds, but not much. We managed to manage the weeds, maintain them by pulling them out when they're really small. But here are our main taros that we were aiming for September now. which originally were aiming for July. So hopefully all will be okay for the dates intended. So yes, so not too bad. All's not lost. So all of them are growing back well. Even this area, I'll show you. These were the ones that were well grown, but then got burnt. Yeah, mainly these ones. But they are doing okay also. Should be harvesting them soon. So if you can see behind me now, all that greenery, yes, the taros have grown back well. So 5 weeks, not too bad. You can see this part here, we haven't cleared it, but we have planted some new taros over this spot that was burnt also. So about 3 days ago, me and Maka, we came up and planted these new ones here on the side. See, and all those other ones, much better. Yes, so that's it. So this maca again, we're making a fire, and this time we're controlling it so it doesn't burn too much of the bush. Even if we burn part of the bush behind us, it should be okay, so we have more area to plant more taros on. But as far as our taros over here, it's all good because it was all burned before and there's nothing left on the ground for the fire to catch on to, for it to get burned again. So, fala here 2 months again. My name is Jehiko, live on the LOTR-NI Island. So we're back to a bush garden like we normally do on the weekend. It's mid-morning right now. We came up a bit late, so it's hot already. But this is about a month and a half since a plantation got burned on the last video that I showed you. So I'm going to show you the progress and what the taros look like now after a month and a half. I think this was how the taros were last time before they got burned. About this size or just a little bit bigger than the taros are now. And here are the ones in the middle. These were the ones that were like burned onto the ground, kind of like dead. And those are the other ones in the middle. And these are the ones that we grow for the show day that we're aiming for July 2023. But now we're not going to make the deadline. It was about a couple of months and they got burnt. So now the growth is restarting again. And some of them are doing okay. But we'll still wait to see how they're going to do overall. Some of the weeds now are starting to pop up. And now we've got to start managing the weeds. We manage the weeds manually, pulling them, or use the brush cutter, or sometimes we use herbicides to take care of the weeds. And this is the area where the taros were big, ready to harvest. They've all grown back too. Just a lot more hoolies. And I'll pull some up today and see. Yes. So there it is, guys. It's not all negative like last time. A bit of positivity now happening. Going on 2 months since it was burned. And our taros are growing back okay. And like quite a few of you that have mentioned on the last video, that the taros will grow back stronger than last time because ash fertilizes the soil. It's good for the soil. Yes. So these are the ones that were saved from the fire. So our taros would have been about this size now if they weren't burned. But the ones that were burned were here, so they're not too bad. But you can tell, you can see how lush the leaves are and the growth. Yes, a bit breezy today. So here's my son. So here's Maka from the last video. So he's making the fire again. So it's all good. This time we'll control it for sure. And it hasn't been too dry nor too windy. We're just making the fire to burn all the coconut husks that we brought from home, and also mainly for the smoke to smoke our taros and hopefully help our taros grow much better with the smoke from the fire. So there's our fire and the smoke. The smoke is going all over the place, but we want the smoke to come over towards the taros over this way. So this is where we want the smoke to be at. Give some boost to our taros that have grown back. And back at the back there, he's making another fire so we can have more smoke. You can see all these coconut husks that we brought from home. It's helping power up the smoke so our taros can have some coconut flavored vape. So taro vaping. Bush knife is a bit dull, not sharp, so it's taking a while. Woo! Drink bomb?
Yes, please.
Nothing beats a cold coconut when you're working in the bush. How long, bro?
Homo.
So we just got our taro left to do before going home, but it's a very hot day today, and it's nearly lunchtime. It's going up to 12 p.m. But man, it's so hot, so we're just resting under this tree. Much cooler before we go grab some taros and take it home for a week's supply. But yes, if you can see, here we are. We moved our truck down to this area and it's much cooler here with a nice breeze. So we're just relaxing before we go get our taros, then go home. But before then, thank you very much for checking out this video for this week. You can see our taros been growing well. So the next video when we harvest them will roughly be around September. And we might do some updates along the way. Thank you for checking out our channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Click on the button below, subscribe, and for the bell notification so you can be updated on the videos when we release them. Take care everybody, have fun, and peace.